Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Thursday, January the 17th, 2013. As you guys know, earlier this week we were stopped out of some long positions and we were just watching the markets now, expecting a peak to form. But we haven't actually started shorting anything. What we're waiting for is an actual timing signal. We want to start to see some shooting stars develop, and we're starting to see those happen now. So it's an important piece of the puzzle. I want to see more of them develop, though. I don't want to see one or two. I want to see it happen across the board on many of the different charts that I track going around the globe here. So we got one right now on the XY, the oil index. That's important to note and keep an eye on. We'll see how it develops from here and see if we can't get a couple more developing. We've got a couple others that developed earlier in the week on what was the DAX and things like that. So we're watching these, but they haven't quite given us the opportunity to start selling. Remember, in some of the charts that we've been showing you the past week, we've shown you multiple different cases where we have bearish divergences, things of that nature. We don't have that on this particular chart, but on other charts we have shown that. Just because you have a bearish divergence doesn't mean you start shorting. You wait for it to start to break down. Once that happens, then you get involved. So right now we're just watching, keep letting it run to the upside, but knowing that it will eventually start to break, and when it does, and we will get on the short side. But right now, I just want to show you some warning signs that we're starting to pick up on here. And again, this is one of them, being that we're finding shooting stars start to develop on multiple different charts. One of the other charts we've been watching will be the volatility index, also known as the VIX. This runs the inverse of the S&P 500. So whenever the S&P 500 is in a bullish uptrend, you'll see the VIX in a bearish downtrend, and so forth, and so on. It's reversed. You get the same results, and that's basically what we're seeing here. We got this nice move to the downside here. After this major overshoot to the upside, we sold off substantially massive gap between this low point here and this high point here. It's unfilled still. When we started to pull down, we tell you don't jump on board just because you get a gap or just because you've pulled back substantially. You wait for hammer candlestick formations, things like this, and then that's only a signal if it's confirmed the next day. It is not the following day here. We didn't get a higher high. That will be confirmation. If we were to take out this high by a single point, we would say, okay, that would be, of course, a confirmation. But we don't have that, so we continue to watch for another hammer candlestick formation. Takes a few days, and then, well, bam, there it is. Happened today. So now I want to mark it again and say, if we take out today's high being, what's that, 1370? If we take that out by 1 penny intraday at 1371, you could buy that with a stop set off of today's low, 1 cent below today's low, the low being 1316, so your stop would be 1315, that kind of a strategy there. You'd be looking for this gap to fill. Remember, we're seeing the U.S. markets as being oversold compared to the rest of the global market. We're also seeing the global markets as being in the peaking mode already, so we're expecting the U.S. markets to start to peak shortly as well. So that would make sense that you start to find a bottom on the VIX. If one would start to peak, you'd start to see the S&P 500 peak. You'd see that pull back while the VIX starts to rally. And with the knowledge that we have the debt ceiling debate coming up, we know that's going to put pressure on the markets as well as drive the VIX higher, just like we saw with the previous debate going on with Congress that led to this rally here. I'd be looking for that kind of activity again heading into the debate with Congress on the debt ceiling in the U.S. So that's what I'm looking at right now, just watching for this peak to happen. Give it time, let it do it on its own, but once it starts to form, we'll start getting involved on the short side of the markets or long any inverse ETF scenario. But for now, just continue to watch. If you've not been to the free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. And thank you very much for doing that. Sharing our videos online helps us a great deal. We appreciate it. God bless. Take care. See you in the next one. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.